Sam, we want to talk about some of these line moves. And the game that's 2 days away has been moving the most. You see this total now? Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Thursday night. We're down to 36. Now I see 35.5s popping. Whoa. This is going to be a true weather game. That's the expectation. That's why this number has been knocked down nearly a full touchdown. Divisional matchup. It's going to be entertaining to watch for sure. But it looks like the weather is getting worse and worse as we get closer and closer to the game, which explains the move.
We'll have to bring Jake on Thursday, get a full weather report, and see exactly what's going on. That could be a really fun bit. Jake does the weather. I've been thinking about that all week, actually, for this game. So, look. What?
You wish, weather boy.
I said I'm down. I'll get the green screen.
Weather boy, huh? I would never say weather boy. That's just disrespectful. You look at what happened in the last game, 18-16. That is in the back of every bettor's mind. The crazy part about Pittsburgh is that against the closing number this year, total-wise, 5-5. 5 overs, 5 unders. But that's because, Joe, as we've talked about all season long, the opening number most weeks gets decked down. 42 on the open. So if you're going over the opening number, I assure you it's not 5-5. If you go under the opening number, you're probably closer to, 8-2. That's probably not that far off. Now, no website tracks record against opening number, but how many times have we seen a Steelers total open at 43 and close at 40? Open at 39, close at 35. If you're betting Steelers totals, you have to bet them ASAP. You can't bet them day of the game because you're 4, 5, 6 points off. I'm looking at some of these overs they've had. Okay, these are closing numbers. Over 37.5, over 37.5, over 41.5. But those numbers were all substantially higher earlier in the week. So when you go and look at trends and look at Pittsburgh's over and under and go, well, they're 5-5, 5 overs, 5 unders. Yeah, against the closing number. But this number's moved 6 points.
Yeah, man. But we've also seen those crazy games where you don't. What was that Patriots game that everybody references a couple years ago? It was the Bills, where nobody did anything.
With the wind and the 30 mile an hour, 40 mile an hour winds, and the flags are flying all over the place. Yeah, that's a little bit different. That's not your average bear.
Right.
I haven't looked at the Cleveland weather. I'm going to pull it up right now for Thursday night. I can't imagine it's that bad, is it? 40 degrees, 20 mile an hour winds.
Yeah. The winds is what's changing, why this continues to drop. Because when we looked at it yesterday, it was like more in that 10 to 12 mile an hour range. But now we're talking, okay, it's going to be cold, it's going to be wet, and it's going to be windy. So how are they going to move the football? So I understand.
We play it out and look at, let's look at the hourly weather. Now I'm weather boy on this show. So hourly weather for Thursday, if you go out and you pull up the AccuWeather and you move it to Thursday, it's 20 to 28 mile an hour winds at time of kickoff.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, it could be rough. And it's Russ against Jameis, so we could see some turnover. They're going to run the ball, both sides. They're just going to lean on the run game all day. And you got Pittsburgh's defense. So Pittsburgh a 4 point. Well, there's some 3.5 still out there. Pretty much split. BetMGM's at 4, Pinnacle's at 4. So I assume that's where we're going to go, but most are at 3.5 right now. Man.
Ooh,
it's tempting.
Look at this. Okay, so on the night of the game, Thursday night, the high in terms of wind gusts, the high. Now, this isn't exact because weather is never exact. These weather guys hit 300 for the most part. That's the reality. Wind gusts, 38 miles an hour on the ceiling.
Holy cow. This is not
That's
going
what
up.
the ball just blows out of bounds if you throw the go route on the sideline. So wind, they're saying between 20 and 25, gusts of up to 40, 91% chance of precipitation.
Yep. So how low is this going to go? That's the question. Is it longer you wait? If that holds, it's probably going to close like 33, maybe 34.
Wow, it's hard to imagine a big appetite for people to bet under 34. 34 is, dude, that's 24-10. Like that's not a lot of points in the NFL. 17-17. Suddenly, we're talking about no margin for error. And the thing about it is, you get a pick six or a fumble, interception return. Well, that is a pick six. Sorry, like all the things that could go wrong.
Sure.
You need a lot of help. Yeah, you need a lot of help to circumvent that. If we get a fumble or a kick return for a touchdown, that's going to feel like 14 points, not 7, if you know what I mean.
Yep, totally with you there. All right, we'll continue to monitor over the next couple days till we get to that game on Thursday. And after we got the news that Tommy DeVito was going to be the Giants starter, there was an immediate move on the Bucs. This thing opened 3. It's still holding, let's call it 5. The Bucs, a 5-point road favorite at the Giants. Both teams coming off the bye.
Tommy D, is it time? Is it time to back the Giants? Do they get the boost, the Cutlets boost? Here's where I'm at in my life. So I am in a war.
We're going to get to 6.
I don't know that I'll bet the game, but I am thinking about. I know nobody cares about my fantasy team, but I only have one quarterback because my team has been crippled by injuries. I've got Olave on IR. Evans has been hurt. A couple running backs are hurt, but I'm still fighting. I only have one quarterback because I need all the depth. I need the receivers and the running backs. So I'm in a spot now where I have Burrow. Okay? Burrow's on bye. So there are 3 quarterbacks I could pick up for this weekend. Darnold against Chicago. May against Miami. DeVito against Tampa. I knew you were going to do that. I mean, DeVito's facing the worst of the 3. Tampa's
so Richardson's rostered.
Richardson's, he's on a team. Those are the top 3 in terms of projected points. And again, I would add one of them and then drop their ass immediately after the game. But those are the 3. Right. Well, I could add Winston, but I'm not, given what we just talked about, I'm not adding Winston against the Steelers in a windstorm. That's not happening. So it's Darnold, it's May, or DeVito. And to be honest with you, given who the Giants face, you face Chicago, Miami, or Tampa. I'd take Tampa's defense and go against them, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, the Chicago weather looks okay on Sunday. Just going to be mid-40s. I don't see wind or precipitation at this point. I'd rather not go against the Bears. And Jalen Johnson, he slipped in the big catch against Watson. He's going to be out to prove something against Jefferson. I'd rather not go Darnold, especially the way that he's been tumbling over the last few weeks. So that is out. The conversations between May and DeVito. And Dayball's been sitting around for a couple of weeks preparing for this. Like, he thinks he can be fine with DeVito. What's the best that DeVito did last year with Dayball? And he's got neighbors who he didn't have last year, too. Think about that. Like, DeVito put up some decent numbers.
Tampa Bay is 29th against the pass.
DeVito's best
EPA
game
per pass.
At Washington. Remember, they were the worst pass defense. He had 3 touchdowns, no interceptions against Washington. Threw for 246.
I think I'm going to be on Team DeVito this week. I might even bet +6.
Every other game, he threw for less than 200 yards, though.
Yeah, but it's not so much about the yards. It's can he throw touchdowns? And he's got neighbors. Yeah. They have weapons. Daniel Jones.
I think they'll be trailing.
God, Daniel Jones. What a nightmare that is. Daniel Jones wasn't even good in college. And the Giants gave him all that money. So funny.
What if it was still Daniel Jones? Would you consider him or no? Would he be out?
Nope, not at all. Nope.
But you're
No
considering
chance.
DeVito. Okay.
Considering. Yeah.
I'd probably go with DeVito. But I like May a lot though. But I do like May.
Of course. Look, it's not a conversation. Like let's clear this up. It's not who do you want going forward to build a team with.
No, it's
who
this
do
one
you
week.
want this weekend and this weekend only.
Yeah. What did May do this past week against Ramley? 282, 2 touchdowns. He's got the legs factor too. That was his best game.
May. Maybe it's May. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. There's something about this that I just can't ignore.
You and the agent?
I don't know why.
Like, yeah, like you're a gambler. So the DeVito angle would be a lot of fun. I like that.
I'd bet 6 too. I'd bet 6 if I got the Giants at 6. I'd bet 6.
I think we'll get there. I expect to get there. We talked about the move on Dallas up on Washington to 10.5. The Houston game, it's kind of all over. It's mostly 8.5. Pinnacle's at 9. So that went back up in favor. Man, let's see where this goes. I'm going to consider Tennessee in that spot.
They have to cover eventually, right?
Yeah.
They have to. Whoa, some 9s.
Mm-hmm.
Still 9s. Circa 7.5. MGM 8.5. So if you're looking to bet some Tennessee, I don't know how much longer those 9s are going to last.
Yeah, you're probably right. And it's a split decision on Arizona-Seattle. Some places have Seattle favored at home. Some have Arizona on the road as the favorite. And then one that we'll spend a lot of the week talking about. And this is going up in favor of Green Bay. So the market is selling the Niners hard. Packers won. They were not impressive against the Bears, but this is going from 1.5 to a 2.5 point favorite. Green Bay at Lambeau favored. And we know these two teams have a lot of playoff history, Sam.
You know the drill. If you're betting San Francisco, you are getting a battered and bruised football team. The names we talked about off the top, we know. You mentioned Hufanga and Hargrave and Ayuk. Those guys aren't even a part of the equation right now. But some big names, right? Some big names popping up. Bosa and Kittle and now Brock Purdy. Soreness in the throwing shoulder. You also have Trent Williams. Your left tackle is banged up. Travarius Ward's been away from the team. I understand the move. That said, Joe, you know people and I know people that will take San Fran +3. They just will. I'm not saying it's the right move, but they will bet that number. Just like somebody came in 25 minutes ago and bet Rams +3 at home. It is now 2.5 at a lot of books in this country. MGM still has a 3. If you want to bet Philly, though, don't lay the 3. Lay the 2.5. 2.5's in Vegas, 2.5's offshore. People bet 3. They bet 3. They bet 7. They bet 14. How many people bet Jacksonville +14? Lost by 40. People still, they bet numbers. They bet 14. They bet 7. They bet 3. They will bet 3 with the Niners, and they will bet 3 with the Rams because of the number, not because of the team.
And we talked about it at the end with Kate Constable there. Monday Night Football, Harbaugh versus Harbaugh. Won't be much hype to this one. The total's already jumped 3 to 3.5 points. 48 to 51. 51 in the hook is available too.
That seems like a lot of points. I love her bet. Hell of a bet by her to get 47.5 on the open. I'd wait for 52 and just bet under. I mean, we know the Raven over money is going to come in. But at what point does it come back? 51, 51.5, probably going to be the ceiling. But I'm not in any rush to bet under. Not with a Ravens team that's gone over in every game but 2. So I'm in no rush there. I'm in no rush.